This is Pocket Rocket from Pittsburgh Roller Derby, and you're listening to Derby Rocks.
Thank you for hanging out with us. It's been a little while, but it's your old pal Shram and Cash. That's right. It is at this point, it's almost like bi-weekly dose of Derby Rocks, but we are here. Hey, Cash, man, what's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, I'm great, and it's not intentionally. We try not to
Oh,
make it intentionally, but it happens on occasion. So you know what? We're still here though. Have no fear.
we
Uh,
are here. Yes.
we are here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Derby Rocks is here for sure.
How are you doing, Chris?
I'm doing pretty well, brother. Thank you for asking. I will say, you, not me, but you specifically went like 504 weeks without taking a break. So I think now if we, miss one here and there, I think we're still doing pretty okay. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't feel too bad about it. But thank you for hanging out with us. Welcome back. It is going to be a great show. We are excited. I know we just missed Halloween. But this week, the first Friday, we are going to have, well, maybe it's not first Friday by the time tomorrow rolls around, or maybe it is. I can't tell. Um, we are going to have Pocket Rocket from Pittsburgh Roller Derby on the just ahead of the Killer Bee tournament taking place in Pittsburgh on the 15th and 16th next weekend. So our friend Pocket Rocket is going to join us. We already recorded the interview. You know the drill. That's all right. No worries. It is a great one, I will tell you. There's some real fun questions and some amazing answers. Pocket Rocket was a treat to talk to. I will say Pocket Rocket is the first of a particular profession that we've had on the show. So stick around for that because it is fascinating. And I could have talked about that alone for like an hour. So stick around, stick around. We're going to get to our weeks here, and there's been a fair amount of stuff that's been going on just because it's been a couple of weeks and I'm always busy. But Derby is kind of starting back up here in Rochester, and Cash will talk about that. But man, it is cold and chilly, and we are deep into fall now. So the leaves are falling. We had some pretty colors, but those are going away because they're all hitting the ground now. But other than that, it is, I don't know, I want to say like business as usual because it's just a Rochester fall. What are you going to do?
Yeah, yeah. We haven't had any of that white crap come down yet,
Yeah,
but
it's still a little bit early. Well, not always, but yeah, it's not frequent that it snows this early, but knock on wood,
yeah.
so
Yeah, but it's definitely we're lucky to get a 50-degree day. Okay, that's how
sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's
the last.
35 right now as we're doing this. So pretty chilly.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, but that's one good thing about living up here where we live is we get every season. So there's some places that don't get every season.
Yeah,
We
no, I mean, I definitely love this season, so I'm right there with you on that. I'd absolutely agree.
Yeah, and I
And
mean sometimes we get too much of the snow season, but
sure, yeah,
sometimes,
yeah,
but it's still shorter than from spring to fall. That's for sure.
right,
Winter's
yes,
only a few months, and you can always look forward past it. It's like,
yeah, you are
yeah,
not wrong.
yeah.
No, valid stuff. We've got a lot going on, but of course, before we get to our weeks, I'll take a second and just say like, hey, we do this from time to time. We talk about how it's like kind of rough out there right now. There's a lot going on. There's weird political assassinations, and a United States territory is going to be wiped off the map, or already has in a lot of cases. Things are not great. There's people who are losing benefits and support that they had, and people might have to really buckle down and struggle a little bit to get through. And it's just, just about anywhere you look, there's a fair amount of negativity or sadness. So it's a reasonable reminder to like say, hey, like reach out to your village, talk to people. Do what you can where you can if you can help, if you have extra, if you have just a little bit of privilege, try and use that to help somebody else because it's a rough time and it's getting rougher. So keep that stuff in mind. Your feelings through this are valid. and just try and not to lose what makes you a reasonable person. And that is honestly, I'm going to be like brutally honest about myself here and say that is where I have struggled probably the most. And it's one of the areas where I find myself like not really loving myself is all the negativity and all the hate and all the fighting with Russian bots on Facebook and all the propaganda and all this other stuff. It's just really like kind of made me jaded. And, if you went back to like 2016 and 2017, I still, I always talk about like hope and positivity. And I used to talk about how like literally everything in life was a miracle. And I still think about that stuff a fair amount. And I'm still a decent, reasonable person, but like I'm so much more jaded and unhappy if you go back 10 years ago, and it's just like wild to think about those changes and how we let stuff like that affect us. So, um, not to kind of put all this on me and say that it's like because I feel this way, you do too. But there's just a lot, and it's tough to stay positive, and it's tough to always be a great person when we're up against it sometimes. So do your best, and yeah, hopefully you're taking it better than I am because I have a hard time with this nonsense.
Well, Chris, you're always good at being the better person. So I think that, and this is a time when that's important, so,
Sure.
I think it's crazy. We did, there's just a lot of craziness going on in this world. And,
Yeah.
hopefully, we've seen the peak crazy already, but, I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like
Fingers crossed.
it gets topped all the time. So, I think I will say one thing, I'm just going to throw this in. People may not agree with me or not, but I think there was an eye opening to the world that happened this past week.
Sure. Yeah. Tuesday was a great day.
Yeah. And I think that we'll see. We'll see how it affects things. Hopefully it'll
Yeah.
get the government back going. That's right now, that's what I'm worried the most about because there are a lot of people out there who depend on it and,
Yeah.
not get, so be the better person, help when you can. I think it's a great philosophy. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. And like I said, it's okay to feel how you feel about it. Whether it's positive, negative, try and just continue to be a good person, whatever that means to you, I guess. So, um, I don't know. It's not all bad. I will say let's get to our weeks. There's been a lot of fun, positivity, a lot of good things that I've had. So, um, yeah, take the time to feel how you feel. Let's move on from it and try and focus on a little bit of fun. Why don't you tell me about what's been going on with you the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, so obviously last week, um, was Halloween. That was I can't wait to hear about Anderson's Halloween, but Halloween in lieu of running a rerun, and because I'm a dope and uh, decided that I wanted to get all my shots in one fellow swoop, and they made me feel really nauseous the night we were going to record, so didn't happen. So I went and played Halloween music on the station in our spot, and
Sure.
and people may have listened or not, I don't know, but just playing different things for an hour at least because it was Halloween was like a monsoon here in
Yeah, it
Rocz.
was such a bummer.
It really did not. So I figure people may be inside, maybe listening on the radio. Who knows?
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah. So I just went in there and played some music and it was a lot of fun. I got to see George. I haven't seen him in a long time. So
Nice. How's George doing?
George is doing good. Yeah. He came in and played a lot of music after I was done. So it was like kind of very
Cool.
continuous music, but I
I was
played
gonna
like
say a couple hours of music. Nice.
I played all the cliche things. So, the Monster
Sure. Did you play the
Mash.
Monster Mash?
I
Yeah,
played the Monster Mash. I played Thriller. I played, so it
of
was
course.
every once in a while I need to get back to when I used to disc jockey and play a little music. So I did that. But we were thinking, we were thinking about our listeners and I felt bad that we didn't do a show, but we are doing one this week. So that's even cooler. But it was really wild because it was a Friday. That was Halloween. So I worked that day and everybody at work had costumes on. And I knew one dissenter who didn't, and that was me. No, I wasn't the only one, but I did. I definitely didn't dress up for
Funny.
Halloween this past year. It's kind of a bummer because I do like dressing up. It's a little fun. But it was. Besides that, the weekend, nothing going super that going on that weekend. But this week, it's been pretty busy at work, which is really good, and I appreciate being having a great job and getting some overtime this past week. So I get like a night a week, or sometimes 2 nights a week. I get to do something, and
Sure.
that's always a big plus. But I did get tonight before we did recorded this is I got to play a penalty box timer for our jam timer for in the penalty box for today was Rocz Roller Derby. They had the tryouts this week for the next season, and they always have this tryout scrimmage. They're dabbling with doing a third team this year, so they had three tryout scrimmages, and they had the teams broken up into three different pieces, and they had them play each other in a round robin for 25 minute, like a 25-minute game, and just to get and I think it went out really well, and I've seen the progress of some of the skaters is so good.
Sure.
They've just done so much better. They've gotten so much better in the last couple of years, and last year it was nice to see that did vicious defense. So they're definitely getting ready to jump into the preseason workouts with their new teams and stuff, and that's super exciting. But I always like to be involved, helping them out because
Yeah.
I also get a good look at who's going to be playing for the teams too, a little bit in advance because there's always new people every year, and they just got done with the boot camp, so there was some new people there. But because we had to record, I couldn't stay long and talk, so I just ran out the door and came here. But it's I'm looking forward to uh, I'm trying to think. Nothing really super exciting coming up. It's been a terrible. My Washington Commanders are terrible, and I've had to suffer through that in football for the last. But the Bills have been. What a game against Kansas City this past week. That was beautiful.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Not too many late hit penalties thrown, which was nice. And things in the past have been construed as late hits. We're not throwing flags this time, so I liked it. And but it's exciting news for them. But nothing else really that exciting. My mom's birthday is Friday. She turns 91. So happy birthday, Mama Jones. And
Wow.
beyond that, I can't think of anything else super exciting going on. So how about you? How was
Yeah, man. She's always a lot of stuff, especially with the baby, doing a ton. Unfortunately, last week, he got a little cold, so that kind of limited the things that we did as far as Halloween stuff. Plus, it was such a bummer, like you said. It was like raining all day, and it was brutal cold, so there was nothing to do. There was zero trick-or-treaters. We couldn't even really like I don't know. And because he was sick, we couldn't even like go to the mall and go like visit little stores and do trick or treating at the mall or anything like that. So we sort of got bummed, but it is overall okay. We still sat on the kitchen floor and carved a pumpkin, and he really enjoyed that. He loved playing in the guts and helping like scrape it out, and he because he's at this age where he just wants to put everything into his mouth, especially if it thinks it's food. He kept trying to eat the pumpkin guts, so a little disgusting, but overall, just a really cute time. We had a blast with it, and he had fun. So that was really all we kind of did. Because this baby is crawling and pulling himself up on everything and doing a lot of like assisted walking with his little like race car walker and stuff like that. We were doing a bunch of cleaning, which kind of always makes you feel like a little bit good too. You like clean something up, it feels good. The more stuff you get like packed away, the less stuff that is out, the less like stressed you feel. Um, it's weird. I feel like bad talking about myself a lot today, but growing up, I didn't have a ton of stuff, and then I made some money. I work a lot, have lots of jobs. I've bartended, make cash, whatever. So I've treated myself over the years to silly stuff. I have like 500 records. I have a taxidermy collection. I have action figures, stuff that you don't really need, but I have it. And now I don't want most of it. Like now I'm like over all the toys, and I just think about like, what I could have had I not spent all this money on this stuff, or like the savings that I'd have and things like that. Um, so that's kind of the motivation, and of course for the baby to get things cleaned up. So we're doing a lot of cleaning. I'm trying to figure out what I can like live without and things like that. So um, we are also, if you can believe it, we are planning. We're trying to plan this baby's first birthday party. So we're thinking January 1st or 31st, excuse me, not January 1st. That'd be silly. January 31st. We're thinking. So make sure you put that in your calendar there, Cashman.
Right.
We'll have more details, but yeah, it's awesome, man. He's so cool. He's almost 10 months old now, and just a blast. We've got another week, and he'll be 10 months. Um, but yeah, it's just so much fun, and he's so smart, and um, he's just learning stuff all the time. It's really unbelievable. So lots of baby stuff, lots of work. Always working. There's different shows. Every once in a while, we get some good shows that I enjoy. So that's always cool. Um, we actually went to the Pittsburgh area. Speaking of Pittsburgh, very Pittsburgh heavy show. We went to Pittsburgh yesterday. One of my favorite bands. Their name is um, Boys Night Out. They were touring on the 20-year anniversary of their album called Trainwreck, which is a really fascinating concept album. If you like albums that tell stories and not just like individual songs, check it out. It is unbelievable. I personally think this album is like a masterpiece, and they played the whole thing front to back. Um, and that's always cool. You know, these are albums that I loved growing up, and a lot of the bands that I listened to and still do listen to are doing a lot of these like nostalgia tours. So it's very cool to get to see. Um, we did have dinner with Pinky on our way down. Pinky, friend of the show, she's been on. We stopped at Burgatory, and because we were going to the show in Pittsburgh, Pinky was kind enough to watch the boy for a couple of hours. So they got to spend some time together, which was great. Um, yeah, today we didn't do too much because we kind of had to get back into town. But um, did you know there in East Aurora, out near Buffalo, there is a Fisher Price like brick and mortar store? Did you know that?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Really?
it's pretty cool. And they have a bunch of like Mattel stuff too. You could get like action figures, but we mostly went for the Fisher Price stuff, which was very cool. I had no idea. They have like a whole wall of little people and like all the little people stuff that you could want, and like Melissa and Doug and all the baby stuff. So
Oh,
there's only like 4 or 5 of these things in the world, and one of them happens to be in Buffalo, or the Buffalo area at least. So we went and checked that out. And East Aurora is like the most adorable little town. It's like still very like old timey. Their main street's really cool. It has like old jewelers, and it has like one of the world's only like five and dimes left. Even though none of it is 5 or 10 cents, and it is all very expensive. Um, but it's a cutesy little general store,
is that
basically. Really
Viddlers?
cool.
Vi-
Yeah,
I,
exactly.
I know Viddlers. Yeah, I see
Yeah, there
it.
you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. So yeah, that play I'd never been. I'd never really been to this town at all. So it was very cool to be able to check out the Fisher Price store, and they actually had some like cardboard cutouts of like Bills, Buffalo Bills, little people, because you're out in Buffalo. So we took some pictures, and they had some like decorations, and yeah, it was a very cool experience checking out Fisher Price. So that was what we did today. East Aurora was really cool. I'm actually in love with the town. I was only there for like an hour or two today, so
Nice.
very cool. Lots to check out there for like day trips. So something that we're definitely going to do again. Um, we and then other than that, we've just got work this weekend. It's really same old kind of stuff. This weekend there are 3 shows back to back to back at the Montage, and I will be doing only 2 of them because that is like my funny money, and I just, I'm tired, man. We're loving on this baby, and raising him is one of the greatest honors I could ever tell you about. But Man, I am tired and I slept like crap last night. And I don't know, dude. It's just a lot sometimes, too much sometimes, even, And I'm not even really doing derby. Outside of some games, I haven't really done derby at all this year, which is wild. So my life stays busy with or without derby. And I will say I miss derby and I want to go back. Um, we'll just
10
see.
years of the fear, man. 10 years of Flower
Yeah,
City.
we haven't really talked too much about that, but we recently just passed like the Fear's 10-year anniversary, and like the Fear's first practices were around this time 10 years ago. And then yeah, I started in February of 2016. So I'm coming up on my 10-year anniversary, which is wild too. So um,
Nice.
yeah, lots of stuff to be happy about, lots of stuff to be positive about. Real quick, while I mentioned the boy's birthday, I will say I think what we're going to do is the Parrington Community Center has like an indoor pool kind of water parky thing, and it's like really cheap. It's like $7. So they also have like rooms you can rent. So we're going to rent a room, but we're pretty much just going to do like some swimming for kids or adults, whoever wants to do it, and then have some like cake and pizza in a room and celebrate the boy, and it'll be fun. So, yeah, we're gonna invite everybody. I've actually got a whole list of people with kids, so there's gonna be some kids there and all that good stuff. So, we're just so excited and loving all this stuff that we get to do with this kid, all the firsts, and um, yeah, it's just so freaking cool. I almost dropped an F-bomb. Just,
Oh,
but
well, I
it's
mean, he's got some big first coming up. Thanksgiving, first Christmas, all this stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I'll say I don't love the winter holidays a lot based on things that happen throughout my life. They're not my favorite. I never want to like poo on someone's like good time. Like Jennifer loves Christmas. It's like one of her favorite things. It's like her favorite holiday, of course, and it's just like her thing, and I'm there to like support that for her. And I'm really excited to start doing like traditions with the boy and stuff like that. I love that. So
Cool.
yeah, lots to look forward to. Lots of awesome stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know, but I think that's really all I got. I think we've done talked enough.
Yeah, I do. Well, I think
Why
what we
don't you hit some scores? We can
yeah,
jam in some scores, I bet.
I do want to mention you mentioned Pinky and the Bees tournament is coming up, and Pinky's like the head announcer there.
Of
So
course. Pinky's the head announcer everywhere.
yeah. So cool. So that's very cool. So we got some scores from last week's WFTDA. I'll go through the closest bouts. We had boy, I shouldn't have said that because the first one is BRD's Ingles de Asas beating Elborg 158 to 155 3-point game. Elborg then beat Prague 165 to 144. It's a 21-point game. Perth beat Ads 156 to 121. And there's a lot of games going on outside of the country, obviously. And Perth lost to Ads 108 to 71. We have those biggest upsets were most of those games. And this week, there's not a lot really going on. We do have San Fernando at Chicago style going on. There is, I think there's just a couple of games. I mean, there's a lot of derby going on. Believe me, it's just not getting in
Yeah,
places in
not
which,
publicized,
yeah,
right?
not places where I can find it. But I will to tell you that the Blue Ridge Roller Derby home team throwdown is Sunday, November 9th. Doors
Very
at
cool.
yeah, doors at 2, bout starts at 3. Smoky Mountain Event Center in Waynesville, Blue Ridge Roller Derby home team throwdown. There, let's see, it's going to be the league's 3 home teams: the Black Balsam Baddies versus the Swarm and the Copperhead Outlaws. So, like I said, the doors open at 2. First bout's at 3. Tickets are $10. That's a deal. Definitely jump on
Yeah,
that. Kids 11 and under get in for free. You definitely don't want to miss that. There's going to be vendors there and all sorts of stuff. So,
very cool.
Blue Ridge Roller Derby are friends of the show. I mean, we definitely have mentioned them before. I know they definitely have. I think that's the only thing I could find going on. There might have been some other things, but they're
Yeah,
but
they're out there.
There is a lot, though. I'm guessing there's a lot probably going on, but most of the time it's like these really mom and pop roller derby teams, and
Yeah,
it's like
sure. Yeah,
not nearly.
there's little bits going on all the time. There's probably a scrimmage taking place somewhere right now. You know what I mean? Like,
I just came from one, so I knew one
yeah,
was going on not too long ago.
absolutely,
So, but
absolutely.
yeah, but yeah, there's some really cool things, going on in all of roller derby, and we are in November. This is usually when champs happen for WFTDA.
WFTA,
So
yeah,
they, we did have memories of ones that took place like 9 years ago that I was down at. So that was, but yeah, and they won't be back till next November, and we'll see how things shake up amongst teams when now WFTDA will have championships again. What will the people that all migrated to the MRDA teams now move back to their other teams, or are they going to be
yeah. I mean,
happy?
they allow like dual roster in some cases,
Oh,
so
that's
it
true. That's
really
true.
just
Yeah.
depends on all the like policies of the lifted elites and stuff. So who knows? But it certainly will be fascinating to see, and
Yeah.
it's always exciting to get a another competitive year of WFTDA. So
I was just talking with Scars at the scrimmage. Scars was the worked at Champs, MRDA Champs, and worked with Moose. They were co
yeah,
yeah. So which was really cool. And we were just talking about it's like how cool they all were, and how it was a great atmosphere, and how the concussion it did such a good job with everything.
awesome.
So yeah, I just heard nothing but raving stories about it. So kudos to everybody. But I think that's about, I think we've killed enough time, I'll say, but that's about all the news we've really got, I think.
Awesome, awesome. Well, hey, it was good to be back. It's good to see your face. Thank you for listening, whether you're doing it on 106.3 WRFZ, whether you pick us up on Facebook.com/Derby Rocks, or you find us wherever you get your favorite podcasts. We love and appreciate you. Welcome back to Derby Rocks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. It's going to be a great rest of our show. It's going to be a great interview. We are joined by Pocket Rocket from Pittsburgh Roller Derby. Thank you for coming on the show. I'm after I saw your bio, I have so many questions, mostly relating to your job. Of course, a lot of Derby stuff, but I feel like as long as you're okay with it, we have to talk about your job a little bit.
I'm always okay with that. Also, thank you for having me. I really
Of
appreciate
course,
it.
of
So,
course. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, perfect. I'm going to leave a little cliffhanger there. Let's talk Derby first. So, why don't you tell me how you got involved in roller derby?
oh my gosh, yeah. So, so I grew up in Colorado Springs, and I was like in my late teens, early 20s, and we would go and frequent the Pikes Peak Derby Days. And I always just thought like these girls are so stinking cool. I want to be one of them.
Sure.
And then of course my travels took me other places. I moved to the Ohio Valley. Specifically, I live in West Virginia. And I was actually driving by the Moundsville Roller Derby one night, and I was a little after a couple of adult beverages. Just kind of was like, I'm gonna join roller derby. And of course all my friends were like, no, you're not.
Great.
So
I'm going to do
obviously I
this.
said,
I
hold my
swear.
beer. Yeah, I was like, hold my beer, watch this.
Yeah,
And so
watch this. Great.
I was having some drinks with some friends, and this girl walks in, and my one friend was like, hey, do you just want to play roller derby? And I was like, yeah, obviously. And he goes, that girl plays roller derby. And I was like, bet.
Right.
So I walked up to her and I
Brag.
said, hi, my name is Randy. And she said, hi. And I was like, I want to play roller derby. And she said, we have new skater classes starting tomorrow night. And I never looked back.
Sure.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
perfect. That's great. But literally starting the next day, how could you ask for more?
I mean, honestly, if she would have given me 48 hours, I probably would have chickened out. So I'm happy it was so fast.
Nice. Good, good. I
And the
love
first
that.
time
I
you
love
went,
that.
did you have skates and all the equipment, or did you have to use loaners and stuff?
Oh, I was covered in other people's sweat for sure. Like there was a lot of other people's stank on
That is
me.
a quick turnaround. I understand it might be hard to procure your own stuff at that rate.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I will say though, I think it was after the second week that I went, I was like, okay, I am getting my own gear. Like
sure.
I don't want other people's stench on me anymore. So now it's just strictly pocket rocket. So
Nice. It's all your own aroma, huh?
this is all me.
Perfect. What other sports did you play growing up in high school or college?
So I swam competitively for years. I was that was like my big thing since ever since I was little. I was a big swimmer. Of course, I did like t-ball, soccer, whatever, but swimming was my big one. Um, I did do cross country and tennis in high school a little bit, but swimming was and still is. I mean, I do still try whenever I can to get to the pool, but swimming competitively was my deal. So
Sure.
yeah.
So obviously a very cardio specific sport, and you got to be strong. But is there like a lot of crossover in derby and swimming? I can't think of like a lot of similar skills that the two might need. That's kind of opposite ends of the spectrum, I think.
It is. It's very opposite. However, I will say the biggest thing that swimming gives me is my endurance.
Sure, yeah, totally.
I'm not a jammer. I am a blocker. And sometimes I feel like the endurance of a blocker is taken, people don't always appreciate it. And so
Sure.
it helps me. It helps me speed up. It helps me slow down.
Uh,
The endurance that I get from that has been fantastic.
Well,
So that's the biggest crossover.
isn't swimming, you also work a lot of muscles like in your
Oh,
abdomen area and stuff like that.
sure, and a lot of
But those
core.
definitely, those definitely can convert over to derby stuff, you know?
oh, absolutely. I mean, it's so much of just it's your entire body workout. And I mean, roller derby is your entire body. I mean, the amount of times you're using your core, your legs, your arm. I mean, it's
Yeah,
so I mean that there is a lot of crossover there as well. I just use the endurance more or less. So
awesome. What kind of skating experience did you have when before you showed up to that new skater intake?
yeah, I went to birthday parties.
Sure.
At,
You would be surprised how frequently we hear that, and it's not surprising.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I went to some birthday parties. Honestly, I can't even tell you the last time before I started roller derby. I think the last time I put on skates, I might have been like 12. So
Sure.
it was a
Nice. So
gap.
quite a long time.
Yeah.
How did you take to Derby? I mean, it's a lot, you know. Some of these stops and you're turning around, you're skating backwards fast, you're getting hit. How did you take to that, and how were the practices and things like that in the beginning?
Yeah. Oh man. I'm trying to like think about like to baby pocket where she was. It was hard. It was one of those things that like somebody would hit me and I would just be like, why are you doing that? Like we're
Don't do that.
friends. Yeah, like what? That's so aggressive. And then it got to the point that I was like, oh, this means that like we like each other. Um, and so I will say, I think at the beginning it was really intimidating. I couldn't really wrap my head around it. But I am not one to give up, like at
Sure.
all. I mean, it was one of these things where I think I was probably playing for the first like 6 weeks of just like practice and like, getting my little deer legs and everything. And there was a moment of just like I watched a senior skater like take a hit and fall. And I looked at her and I was like, oh, okay, if she can do this, I can do this. And so it encouraged me a lot. But I mean, I will say it probably took me easily 3 months before I really felt confident in any of it. And there was a lot of, what am I doing?
Sure.
This is ridiculous. What's happening? But yeah, I'm not one to quit. So I pushed through.
Did you have like an aha moment when you were like, okay, wow, like I know that this can be for me, and I'm gonna stick with it?
Oh man. I feel like I had two aha moments. So one of them, it was just at a practice, and one of my teammates, I was officially like contact ready, and I was ready to go, and she had hit me, and it was, I think, one of the first like really genuinely big hits I ever took, and I went flying, um, and I mean, I just ate it, and I sat there for a minute, and I got back up, and then I kept skating like nothing happened.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I can do this.
Sure. Nice.
I
Good.
think my second aha moment actually might have been in one of my first bouts I ever played. I was blocking and I was just able to be like that annoying just
Sure.
person in your way, just like butt to gut. And I didn't let this person pass me. And it was also at that moment, I mean, they eventually got past me. I was still a baby. But it was just still this moment of just like, oh, okay, cool. And she was like, get out of my way. And I was like, nope.
No,
So
no.
yeah, it was taking that first genuinely big hit And then it was also like having that really first like good block of annoying somebody. Those are my first moments of just like, oh no, I can do this. Like this is me. I've got this.
Sure,
So
sure.
yeah.
So you've in Derby and in life, it sounds like you've done some bouncing around. How have you kind of managed to do that? Is that tough? I mean, you said from like Colorado to West Virginia. That's like big differences there, you know?
Big
So
differences. Yeah, it's I will say I think the
personalities
thing
alone.
yeah, personalized alone has been very challenging. But I think the one thing that I will say is like roller derby has actually I've always been a very like open-minded, accepting kind of person, but like roller derby has just made me be more
Sure.
open-minded,
Yeah,
more
of course.
accepting. Like I will actually attribute the fact that I've been able to do the things I've been able to do, especially in my job, um, to roller derby and just teaching me like that you can take a hit, you can get back up. Like so
Sure.
it's been a challenge, but I will say I think roller derby has just kind of helped pave the way.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, now you are the whole reason for the interview today, basically. We do have the Killer Bee tournament coming up next weekend, the 15th and 16th in Pittsburgh at the Pittsburgh Indoor Sports Arena, I think.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
In
Got
Cheswick,
that all
PA.
down.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Let's talk about your time with Pittsburgh. You joined in
Oh,
2021, which
yes.
a lot of people might say like, well, that's weird because there was this whole like COVID thing going
I
on. And
know.
that is like a controversy all on its own that we're not going to get too much into, whatever. I don't care. But um, you joined Pittsburgh. You switched from like Ohio Valley, which is a WFTDA team, to Open Gender. How was that switch for you?
Was awesome. So I think actually the first time I ever played in an open gender bout, it was during Morgantown's Jingle Brawl, and I think it was actually like 2019.
Okay.
And honest to gosh, I think I was actually jamming. And I really want to say that Pit Bulldozer was the jammer as well. And I want to say that, I'm not 100% sure, but I do remember one of my first encounters with him was at Jingle Brawl. And it was
Okay.
one of my first encounters with open gender. And it was it was so much fun. Like, I mean, there was just a moment of just like, oh, this is awesome. Like, I'm so cool. And so I did, I joined Pittsburgh, and well, I joined a league in 2021, Pittsburgh, and we'll let everything else happen. But it was a really big turning point in my life personally, and so taking that step, um, from from like the women's roller derby, which I love, and I mean it was such a great opening for me for roller derby in general. However, taking this next step, I was really in like a weird spot personally.
Okay.
So when I joined this league, it really just kind of was like, okay, like I can do this and I can push
Yeah.
through and I can persevere. And so it wasn't intimidating at all. And quite frankly, the guys, like I mean, everybody has just been so welcoming. And so there was never a moment that I was like, oh, they're going to be intimidating. It's a, it's
And
a,
you can kick
it's a
most of those
man.
guys' asses anyways. I've known them a long time. You're tougher than they are.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love all of them, but let's be real. So
Very real. Yes, absolutely. I love that. Well, let's talk about the tournament a little bit. Are you guys excited? What are you looking forward to the most?
oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So this is the first MRGA B team like sanctioned tournament, and we are so excited to be a part of this. I will say a little bit of a shout out that Pittsburgh, I think, was also the first like B team sanctioned game last year against the Cleveland Guardians. Shram, I think you were a part of that. Um, I actually have a photo of me trying to block you, so there's that. So I will say I'm very excited. I feel like Pittsburgh is genuinely paving the way.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It might have been like 2 years ago, or you're
yeah, but it's
mistaking me for somebody else.
oh no, it was I'm like 99% sure it might have
All
been you.
right. Well, I'll text it to
But
you or whatever.
anyways,
We'll see. We'll see.
anyways.
But yeah. What kind of goals have you set for yourself?
Oh my gosh. For myself, okay, well, I do have to say, so I am one of the co-captains this year. The Hawk is the other co-captain. So For myself, as captain, I think one of the goals that I set was just to come into this tournament with a positive attitude and just to have the goal of just showing everybody who Pittsburgh roller derby is. And to show that, we have so many talented skaters. I feel like a lot of people like, they know the undead and I love them so much, but the zombies, like we are our own people and we're super competitive and we're really there to show up. And so that's
Sure.
as a captain, that's one of my goals. I think personally as a player, one of my goals is to go in with just like a positive attitude with this whole thing. Just to start setting, I don't like I don't even really know the word I want to say here, but just to start just showing everybody who we are and just showing everybody like what open gender can be with roller
Yeah.
derby. Um, I'm just so excited going to this weekend, I guess next weekend. I'm I'm starting to get like the tournament nervousness,
Sure. Yeah.
I will say I'm very much looking forward to playing Chicago.
Sure.
Um, I've always seen the undead play Chicago, and so I'm very excited that like, oh, the zombies are doing it. So I'm
No,
very
we
pumped.
just played Flower City just played them in July, I think it was in Cleveland, and it was a ton of fun. It was awesome. So yeah, have a blast with
Yeah,
that. They're a great group of folks.
Yeah, you got some
yeah,
great teams coming. You got Penn Jersey Shenanigans coming too.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
Cascade Bay's B team coming. So there's some real good quality teams coming up. That Divergence is going to be playing. So
Oh, that's gonna be such a good game too. I'm very excited. Just honestly, I'm just excited for the whole weekend and just to like be
of
a part of
course.
all. And we get to play like all of them, so I'm super
Yeah.
pumped.
it's going to be
Let's talk about how. Sorry, Cash, I didn't mean to cut you off. Let's real quick. Let's talk about the honor of being named captain for the last couple of years.
Yes, I'm so privileged and I'm just so humbled at the fact that like my team and my league just really relies just looks up to me just to be a leader and
Sure. Yeah.
everything. Um, I cannot ask for a better group of people to be a captain of. They are so just excited. They give me a lot of feedback, which is super important to me. They show up, they're constantly there, they're constantly, just letting me know what they need and what they want. And I'm so blessed to be a part of such a great group. And I will say, I mean, the Hawk, she's been my co-captain this year, and I don't know what I probably could not have done any of this without her. I mean, not
Sure.
probably,
Yeah.
I could
She's
not have
cool.
done any of this without her.
Yeah. Hawk's awesome.
So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. All right, well, let's just get to it. You mentioned you are a funeral director and a embalmer.
Yes.
Uh, how does one? It's likely a family thing, I would assume. How does one get into that
Yeah.
profession?
Not a family thing. Actually, I'm the only one in my family that does it.
So you're just
Um,
sort of a weirdo then.
I'm just from beginning to end, I'm just kind of a weird person.
Okay, I dig it.
So
Fair.
no, actually it's so funny is I think I was like 17, I was in high school as a senior. And of
Hmm.
course everyone's like, what are you gonna do with your life? And unfortunately, on the more serious side, I had been to a lot of funerals.
Sure.
And I was just, I'd been to a couple and there was a few where people were just like, this didn't make me happy, or my loved one didn't look how I feel like they should look. And it just kind of came to a point that I was like, I don't want people to feel this way. Like, I don't want people to feel so just like to have like their last image of their loved one be
Sure.
so deteriorated. And so I was like, you know what, I can do this. And I talked to my mom. My mom was like, you give me 5 reasons why I'll support you. I cannot even tell you what those 5 reasons were anymore. But she supported me. I had a lot of support from my family, and I went to school, did a couple of apprenticeships, and then, of course, I ended up in West Virginia for work. And so I have been working in West Virginia doing this now for 11 years.
Okay.
It is by far, one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. Like, I know we talk a lot about, like roller derby and how rewarding it is, but being a funeral director and being able to serve my community, my friends, I have taken care of my own friends. I've taken care of friends' families. So it's just been such an honor and such a privilege to be a part of that journey with everybody. It's one of those things people don't want to talk about. And
Yeah.
I'm just kind of here just to remind them that people live lives and
Sure.
their stories deserve to be shared. So
yeah, it's a very important part. I mean, that a lot of
Yeah.
people I think, what's interesting is your name has nothing to do with your profession too. I'm sure you could have thought of a really good one, right?
Actually, it's really funny is because the reason my name is Pocket Rocket, I went to the first trainer class and I went to work the next day and I told my coworker, I was like, I went to roller derby. And he was like, oh, I'm sure you're really small and you're fast. You're like a little pocket rocket. And I was like,
Oh, cool.
sure.
That's my
So that's how
name.
I got my
Sure.
name.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Um, you're welcome to tell me to kick rocks for any of these questions.
No,
And
go for it.
certainly nothing too spicy, but has there been a situation where you've had to like say no to doing your job?
Oh, I honestly don't even know if there's been a situation where I've had to say no. I am pretty accommodating. I mean, unfortunately, there's been times where someone's like, I want to see my loved one, and I've just been like, no.
Maybe don't do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Not even
Okay.
just like maybe don't. Like I'm just gonna tell
Yeah.
you no.
Right.
Like so,
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
yeah.
Fair. And is there something like very specific that sticks out to you? Like, what's like the weirdest memory that, like, if somebody was like, "Tell me a story about your job," what story would you tell? I guess.
It's not even my story, but it is
Okay,
a
fair.
story. It was my coworkers.
All right.
I don't even remember the whole situation. I just remember a woman passing away. And I
Mhm.
remember one of her relatives saying that they wanted her skull back after cremation. And we just very much were just like,
But
number one, why?
how? Yeah.
It also, like, too, it was like, I mean, there's like fragments. Like, you're not gonna get like a
Right.
whole, like, it's not gonna look like a Halloween
It's
decoration.
not
Like,
gonna.
what do you
Yeah,
want
it's
with
not a
that?
decoration, or you can't like use it as an ashtray or whatever.
Yeah, and so he was just like, "Oh, well, it would just be nice to have around." And then we were just like trying to explain to him. And I mean, I will say, it took us like 3 or 4 days to finally be like, "Sir, like, you're not getting this
You're
back."
not gonna do. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're
Fair.
not gonna get it back. That might have, I will say, I think that's like probably the weirdest thing I've ever had, and it wasn't even mine, but it was the weirdest.
Fair.
And that's not
Yeah,
Um.
that's not too weird. I mean, unless someone's
Yeah.
like, hey, can you grab the gold fillings, please, or something.
Right. Yeah.
yeah, never had that so far, so that's good. But I
Awesome.
just want my
Well,
sister's skull back, so there's that.
I respect it, and I don't hold me to this, but I want to say we've done, I don't know, close to 550 episodes now, something like that, and you are probably our first funeral director and embalmer.
There you go.
I
Check
like
Awesome,
to make
list.
impressions.
awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Um,
Can I ask you a
there's like a,
question? Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
you go ahead. Sorry,
So,
I
Yeah.
keep cutting you off.
so you play with the zombies, and uh, since the world has come back from COVID, the B teams have a new place in MRDA. And I think kudos to the zombies and the beekeepers because these are teams you guys go out and you beat regular rostered A division teams, and so it's like. And it's really pretty cool, but it's the way that the sport has kind of evolved since COVID. What is it to be like on one of these featured B teams there that actually show up in the rankings and everything? Is that pretty, I mean, is that because it's kind of new too, a bit, for a lot of people. So
It is. It's new. It's exciting. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, like we're doing this, like we're making like roller derby history. And sometimes it's very surreal to just kind of be in that position of just like we're doing it. It's not just like it's like a for funsy thing. Like we're so competitive and we're so in there, we're so involved. Sometimes it's very surreal. I mean, there are a lot of times where I'm like, oh, we're just hanging out, playing derby. And then other times I'm like, oh no, like we're like playing derby. It's like there's a weird thing. So I know I keep using the word excited, but like it's such an exciting thing to be
Sure.
such a big part of this. And the thing that I think is super cool too, that we are seeing, at least with Pittsburgh, and I know so many other leagues are starting to see, is all of these juniors that are aging up and they're becoming a part of these teams and they're becoming a part of like the zombies and the beekeepers and just to watch like this new generation of just like dirty coming in. And so it's been very surreal just to be a
Yeah.
part of such a I always just watch these things happen And sometimes I forget it's like, oh, I am part of this happening. So it's a very surreal moment.
Well, and also you've got some vets on your team too that may not be like ready for the undead or anything, but are ready to spread their wealth of knowledge with
Yeah,
the bees.
lead with
So
experience.
yeah, so
Mhm.
that's awesome.
Yes, and honestly, like we are so incredibly fortunate to just have the league that we have. I mean, we have people who have been doing roller derby for, I mean, Todd. Shout out to Todd. She has been a part of the roller derby community for almost 20 years, I think. And I mean, the fact that she is such an integral part with, Pittsburgh roller derby and just building us and making us who we are, it's just so awesome to have somebody with so much knowledge that comes in and helps everybody on all levels. And it's just been I'm just so incredibly grateful for all those vets that we have that are still here helping us all grow. So,
Yeah. What's your favorite part about Derby?
oh man. I was actually just talking about this recently. It's just how I just feel so included.
Sure.
Like everybody feels so included. Like you're just included.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your pronouns are. It doesn't matter your race. It doesn't matter like your religion. It doesn't matter your job. It literally doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
we're all there for one thing. And we all come and we do the one thing and we all get very competitive and we get kind of sassy and spicy. But at the end of it, we all got to go and have a beer. And that's my favorite part is just the camaraderie and just feeling so included. I mean, I have never felt more included in anything in my entire life. It's just such a
Valid
welcoming
answer.
community.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your game plan moving forward? Are you just gonna ride it out? Do you have like an end goal?
I have no idea.
Sure.
I
Valid.
have no idea.
Yeah.
Just
All right.
I was voted co-captain again of the zombies next year, so we're doing it again next year.
Sure.
We're back. We back, baby.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean honestly, like I'm just here until my body gives out. And then just figure out what happens. Although I was talking with my coworker today and I jokingly told him, I'm gonna be an auctioneer. So after I'm done playing roller derby, I'm gonna be an auctioneer, which
That's like your
apparently is like
life's goal.
110 hours of like schooling. I don't know, but
Sure, you're gonna leave the funeral home and go be an auctioneer, huh?
you know what? Why not?
Or just bring. You could have auctions at the funeral home and like double down on your money.
What I said was I wanted them just to auction off my body, but we'll see how that
Sure.
turns out. So it's fine.
Yeah, fair. Or you could, like come up with some really good slogans like people are dying to come to our auctions,
Right?
like that,
I could
throw
use
in
it. I could still be
some
a part
death
of the derby
funds.
community and just like auction stuff off. It'll be fine. So,
Yeah,
an
that'd be great.
authentic Shram jersey, we'll just
Sure.
auction that
There's
off.
so many of them floating around. Tell me when I'm in. Let's do
Yeah.
it. Awesome. Well, we've got the Killer Bee tournament coming up next weekend in Pittsburgh, the 11/15 through the 16th at the Pittsburgh Indoor Sports Arena. Is that the one that's on a giant hill? I know everything's
Mm.
on a giant hill, but it's like a big, like windy, very specific, like at the top of this hill.
You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to say yes, but I don't think that's I have no idea.
Sport
Look, I
court?
know it's called the Pittsburgh Indoor Sports Arena. The actual address, it's like Cheswick, PA. It's like right outside of Pittsburgh. Outside of that, I have no idea. No,
Is
there's that.
is it sports court? Have you been there before?
I have, and it's more of like a basketball court, so it's like a polished floor.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think I'm gonna tell you a funny story if this is the place that I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Um, maybe it's not, but there is a venue in Pittsburgh, and it's not like Nevins or any of the other ones that you guys are normally at. But there's like a little wood like ramp out back of one of these places in Pittsburgh that exists. And when you open the door, you just sort of like if you step to the like right, you fall out of the building. And before a sanctioned game against Pittsburgh, I absolutely fell out of the building. And like you either have to go immediately left to go down the ramp or go immediately right and fall to hurt yourself. And I fell to hurt myself.
No.
I mean, I was fine. I played the game. Everything went well, mostly, but that is a funny story
Oh,
about what I think that venue is.
I think I know what venue you're talking about. I think.
Okay. It has sport court. I don't know. It doesn't quite have as many facilities as this place does, it looks like.
Yeah. I can't think of
But
the name, but I have an
yeah,
idea.
I don't know. That's just a random memory that I have that I wanted to bring up
I have
with
a
you.
guy. I have a fun question. Being all the years you have been in roller derby, what if you could give yourself the brand new you playing roller derby some advice uh, with all your experience? What advice would you give yourself?
Oh man. Just don't be afraid. Just take a hit, give a hit. Just don't be afraid. I mean, I feel like everybody, just baby pocket, she didn't want to take a hit. She didn't want to give a hit. She didn't know just take it. Don't be afraid. It'll all be okay. At the end of it, it'll all be okay.
Sure.
So,
Valid.
yeah.
Awesome.
Very solid. Is there a way I can watch this tournament on streaming this next week?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I believe it is going to be on our YouTube channel. So it'll be on the Pittsburgh Roller Derby YouTube channel. We have a great stream team, so I'm very excited to see how this turns out. We take a lot of pride in our streaming, so it will be live. You can definitely stream it through the YouTube channel.
Awesome.
Very cool. Make sure you check out Pittsburgh Roller Derby on socials. They've got the undead and the zombies. I think there's even like a C team now. They're just spawning
We're
teams
not
like
a C team.
crazy.
It's
So
not a C team. We are very important. It's not a C team. It is more of a rec league. We're
okay,
not the C
fair.
team. And it's the
Sure.
ghouls. So,
All right. Well, thank you for setting me straight. I appreciate it. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Go check out Pittsburgh Roller Derby on all the socials, all that good stuff. So thank you again. Good luck next weekend. And
oh, okay, great. Sounds good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
perfect, of course.